Hi, we've been talking about cybersecurity issues that have been arising during this pandemic, particularly those centered around working remotely, working from home. Now, a general question you all may have is, how do you know when you're working remotely? How do you know if you are indeed having a cybersecurity issue? So I'm here with Matt Kaiser and Mike Stair, and they're going to give us some tips, some red flags to look out for. Matt, what's the first thing we should know about this?
Well, I think the first thing you should know is that it's very possible for you to have an infection on your machine and there not be any real visible signs of it. I think a lot of bad guys have learned that the easiest way to stay on a machine a very long time and get all the things they want off of it is to be as stealthy as possible. So you may not see any outward signs. I would make sure that your antivirus is up to date and you're practicing basic hygiene and go from there. But, there may be some visible signs, and we'll go into those, I guess, in a second.
Yeah, so Mike, give me an example of what might be a sign that there's been a security issue with your device.
Yeah, so Matt, great point. There may be no outward signs, but, if you do happen to get infected with maybe a less stealthy malware or virus, one of the most common tools we use today is obviously our browsers. So if you log in, you notice you're getting redirected to maybe an unusual site, certainly something suspicious, unexpected. Maybe if you're seeing random pop-ups, that may be time to, talk to your IT staff, maybe get your system looked at to make sure that you don't have some kind of infection.
Matt, any other tips you can give us?
Sure, kind of along the lines of what Mike said. If you're at a website that is a place where you usually buy something, or a bank, or some place where some sort of money is being exchanged, something you should look out for are unexplained changes in what you're interacting with. So for example, if you go to your bank, and usually they ask you for your username and your password, but today they're asking you for your username, password, social security number, home address, and a number of other things they never asked you for. You may want to take a look at that because sometimes malware that's around banking or stealing credentials or money from people will add things into websites, and in order to try to trick you into giving that information up to them as well.
Okay, and Mike, give us a final tip.
So yeah, one last one. Maybe when you're using your workstation, if you notice your mouse is moving, without you touching it, any kind of obscure changes maybe with your screen, it's possible someone's got a remote control app on there. So another one you may want to also get checked out to make sure you don't have something installed.
Well, thanks for the advice, guys. I hope you've all found this useful and you put it into practice in your remote working situations. And as always, stay safe.